Parents, grandparents, families, friends, Board of Education members, administrators, fellow educators, and most of all you seniors, the class of 2012. When Amar asked me to give this address representing the Senior Class Council, I was both shocked and honored. No other human movement specialist, or gym teacher, has ever been given this honor. I've been teaching for 38 years, and like you, I'm eagerly looking forward to entering a new chapter of my life as I retire from the educational profession. So I, like you, am a member of the class of 2012. When asked to give this speech, I immediately went to my friend and expert, Mr. Baldwin, our extraordinary speech teacher. His advice to me was, be yourself and speak from your heart. I asked Mr. Wiesbrook and Mr. Stock. They told me, keep it short. I then did what you do when faced with a project. I turned to YouTube, and I watched and listened to commencement addresses. So at this time, I'd like to acknowledge the following people: Barack Obama, J.K. Rowling, Tom Hanks, Katie Couric, Ellen DeGeneres, and Stephen Colbert for helping me write this speech. I then began to panic, losing sleep, wondering what advice I should pass on to this extraordinary group of students. So I thought back to my graduations. I racked my brain trying to remember who spoke at my graduations and what pearls of wisdom did they impart on me and my classmates. Well, for the life of me, I couldn't remember who gave my speech or what they said, so that took kind of the pressure off of writing this speech. You'll never remember this. But I don't want you to remember who gave the speech. My tassel goes to the left, I think. Yes, there really is a Santa. In fact, there are over 1,000 of us members of the Amalgamated Order of Real Bearded Santas. I've had my bachelor's degree in Santa Clausology now for almost 20 Decembers. I've enjoyed the magic of the season through the eyes of children who truly believe. I do not plan from retiring from this wonderful calling. So what advice can this old elf give you, the class of 2012? The construction era class. You witnessed the groundbreaking of the 8th and largest renovation this school has ever experienced. You suffered through the noise of jackhammers outside your classrooms. Classrooms, windowless, smelly, dark, cement-floored, ceilingless, depressing rooms. And then last year, we wandered the halls, discovering that the little theater was still there, but didn't seem like it was in the same spot. You've enjoyed the transformation and have been able to utilize a new building that is totally unrecognizable to all previous graduates of Naperville Central. Your class has added 8 top 4 IHSA banners to the walls of this historic gymnasium. We still have time to add a few more. You've seen the wizards and witches, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, grow up and magically destroy evil. You lived through Edward, Bella, Jacob, and everybody's favorite vampires. You're now witnessing the possible future of society with Katniss and Peeta. I'm hoping that the success of the Hunger Games brings archery back to the PE curriculum. Although I was always a little nervous teaching archery. Putting a lethal weapon in your hands is an awful scary experience. Now we get to see the Avengers take to life on the screen after reading about their adventures in comic books when we were all much younger. You were in the first grade when the Twin Towers were destroyed, yet you witnessed the demise of that horrific day's engineer. My year was pretty remarkable as well. I was able to ride a bicycle without a helmet. I rode in the back of my dad's station wagon without seatbelts because they hadn't been invented yet. I started working at Central in 1985 when the Apple IIe was being introduced to the library. No cell phones were in use then. So why did you guys ask a dinosaur to give advice to techno-savvy students? Let's do an experiment. If you have your cell phone turned on right now, stand up. If you don't have your phone turned on, that's how stupid, please turn it on. Send out a tweet. Text your friends that aren't here. Post this talk on Facebook. What am I supposed to say, the oldest guy in this building, to you people? I took very few philosophy courses in my career. I did have an assignment while working on my master's at Central Michigan to give my philosophy of life in 25 words or less. So as I commuted to Mount Pleasant on my motorcycle between 7 and 9 in the morning, I came up with this. May I go quietly through the noise, learning from all I meet, enlightening those that listen, and enjoying life to the fullest as I go. I received an A. I've tried to live my life by this philosophy. As most of you get ready to enter the unknown world of college, let me assure you that it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. The lessons and friends I learned have shaped who I am today. My first bit of advice to you is to follow your dreams passionately. I can only relate my own experiences. Before I left for Illinois State, I had a huge fight with my best friend, my father, God rest his soul. He wanted me to be a business major. I wanted to be a phys ed major. Well, I compromised a little. I declared a business minor. After failing economics and accounting, I convinced him that I was not cut out for the business world. His comment to me was, I just don't know how you're going to make a living in PE. I told him that the profession of athletic training was just taking off, and I felt that I could become a pretty good athletic trainer. He wished me luck, shaking his head unconvinced that I would ever be able to support myself, certain I would be moving back into his basement and living there well into my 40s. How did I begin my career path? Well, I sustained 3 concussions in 2 days as a freshman football player. The third one knocked me out for an hour. I woke up in the emergency room and the physician looked down at me and said, "Kid, you weigh 90 pounds. Turn in your gear. You're done trying to play football." Well, the next day I turned in my gear and the coach asked me if I'd be willing to stay on as their manager and help out the coaching staff. At the end of the season, the AD asked me if I would be willing to go to a 3-day camp at Northwestern, learn how to be a student trainer, and help the coaches tape ankles. A career was born. You never know what, who, or when will point you in your direction for your career pathway, so be open to all of your opportunities. At my 25th high school reunion, I was introduced as the only person who knew what he wanted to do as a sophomore in high school and actually did it. I was lucky. Most undergrads change their majors 4 times in their college careers. Be careful, that gets expensive. If you have an idea of what you want to do, try to volunteer in that field and see if you really like it. I had a former student who wanted to be an undertaker or a mortician as she headed off to Michigan State. I advised her to find the nearest funeral parlor, walk in and volunteer her services to do anything they needed help with. The following summer, I saw her and she threw her arms around me, thanking me for keeping her out of one of the most depressing jobs in our society. Today, she owns and operates an ambulance service in Saginaw, Michigan, attempting to keep people out of the morgue. When I studied athletic training at Illinois State, the requirements to take the national certification exam were to put in 1,800 clock hours supervised by a certified athletic trainer in an athletic training room. At the end of my 5 years, I had logged 6,350 hours, a record that still stands after 38 years. So try to experience your dream profession before your parents spend money on studying a field you might not enjoy. Because after college, the next 40 years of your life will revolve around your chosen career. You better love it. I'd like you to listen to the lyrics of James Taylor's Secret of Life.
The secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. Since we're on our way down, we might as well enjoy the ride. The secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid, but don't let that stand in your way. 'Cause anyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, might as well show some style. Give us a smile, isn't it a lovely ride? Sliding down, gliding down. Try not to try too hard, it's just a lovely ride.
That leads me to my next knowledge nugget. Oh, go ahead. Attitude. Attitude is one of the only things you have total control over in this hectic life. And the cruel fact is that many of you do not smile enough walking through these halls. Laugh every day. It's good medicine. It's contagious. It makes life better for you and everybody around you. Now, don't expect your life to be perfect. You are standing on the fulcrum between fear and faith. We all fear the unknown, and the future is one of our greatest unknowns. Mark Twain once said, "Those who have never failed have never tried." I like to use the ocean as an analogy of life. The waves of the sea are a series of peaks and troughs. Sometimes you have to suffer through the troughs, the tough times, to get to the peaks when life is good. Your attitude during those tough times will determine who you really are. Keep on moving forward through those tough times. You know, there's a reason the windshield is so large and the rearview mirror is so small. Next pearl, be nice to each other. We're all on this planet together, trying to be the best that we can be. Take the time to send out a card by snail mail to people. Regularly, thank them, congratulate them on an accomplishment. Everybody loves getting mail. I just hope the Postal Service survives this digital age. Send out Christmas cards every year. Keep in touch with those sitting around you tonight. Life is too short. Put forth an effort to be a good friend. And go to your reunions. You'll have a ball. My last nuggets are easy. Hydrate every day. All of life's functions have to have water. You can survive without food a lot longer than you can survive without water. And be careful, caffeine is a huge dehydrator, and it's really hard on your heart. Use sunscreen every day that the sun's out. Wear a hat and hide from the sun. Sunscreen was invented when I turned 18. I hated the way it felt. I am blessed with twinkling blue eyes and fair Irish skin. I had to survive a malignant melanoma, one of my tough trough times. Today I put on SPF 50 every day. Exercise daily. GYM stands for Get Yourself Moving. Helen Keller said, "Blindness isn't as handicapping as the idleness blindness promotes." You have only one heart and one brain. Both need daily nourishment. Exercise provides the oxygenated blood and glycogen needed for a healthy life. And lastly, floss every day. Preventing tooth pain is so much better than enduring an agonizing toothache. So let's summarize. Follow your dreams. Choose the profession you want to spend the rest of your life practicing. Have a good attitude every day. Smile more. Laugh loudly and often. Enjoy the passage of time. Hydrate daily, exercise every day, use sunscreen, and floss. At this time, I'd like to thank my beautiful bride of 40 years, Merg Hughes, or Mrs. Claus. We met on a blind date at ISU as freshmen, and this summer will be our 40th anniversary. I'd like to thank her for lending me to Central for the last 27 years so I could help raise you and your predecessors during the best years of my life. The class of 20, on one last request from Marty B., fellow retiree. don't light up your cigars in the stadium, okay? The sports turf was expensive, and this is a tobacco-free campus. Remember to keep the magic of the holiday season in your heart all year long. I hope to see you on the golf course, and God bless you all. At this time, I'd like to invite Kyle back up to the podium to help me conclude this speech on an enthusiastic note.
Seniors, as the Red Hawk Express departs this evening, we ride in the honor of Mr. Bill Hughes. Please.